Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Okay, today is going to be the first type of video that I do like this. Now, if y'all have been following along with my regular reviews, anytime we on Ooh Ladies First panel, I always tell y'all how much I love. When I say love, I love true crime. When I'm not posting videos, you know, y'all know I don't be posting videos every day, period. But when I'm not posting videos, y'all, I am listening to true crime podcasts, things of that nature. So whenever I heard that the Brittany Murphy documentary was coming out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch it, right? I didn't heard all types of conspiracies ever since the passing of Brittany Murphy because I really used to like her, like a bunch of y'all from Clueless. That's where I was like, oh my gosh, I really like her. Hadn't thought about her since then. And then once I found out she passed, I was like, what? Now, this was years ago, y'all, but I always felt like something was unsettled, right? So after I watched this documentary, I was talking to friends and family about what happened, and everybody was like, "Oh, it was an overdose, right? It was an overdose." Like that was the common misconception, or I don't know. We'll get into what her actual cause of death was, but that's just what everybody thought it was. So I'm super excited to talk to y'all about this on live. Probably won't be as long as my other lives, but we're going to get to the point. And if y'all want more of this, y'all be sure to let me know. I actually do have a video on my channel where I talk about my top 10 true crime documentaries. It's a really old video, probably like my second or third video that I ever uploaded. So if y'all want any recommendations on true crime documentaries, movies and stuff like that, go ahead and find that video. Okay. So what's up to y'all in the chat? I'm super excited because all my faves are here. Kenya, Alicia, Kishwar, Danielle. Hey, everybody. It's nice to see y'all. So we are going to talk about this documentary probably in 4 parts. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, this documentary was released on October 13th. 2 episodes. They're both under an hour. Super easy to follow. Okay. Now, y'all tell me, was it just me? But literally, after the first episode, I still felt like, I was like, I know we only 1 episode in, but we really haven't even gotten to what needs to be discussed. Okay. So at the beginning of the documentary in part 1, they talk about the beginning. That's what we're going to call it, the beginning. They talk about her upbringing, how, typically what you find with a lot of child stars like Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes, people of those sorts, they don't actually want to be stars. There's something that their parents signed them up for. So really the whole first half of the documentary, they're really letting us know that acting was a passion of hers. They're showing throwback clips. They're showing how she said that she wants to do Broadway first, and then she wants to be a movie star. So Brittany really, really had a true passion for acting, okay? But y'all know Hollywood is a dangerous place. And ultimately, I think that Hollywood is the reason why she's not here anymore, okay? I don't think that this documentary is a question of who killed Brittany Murphy. It's what happened to her, okay? And this documentary fails to even answer the question for us, okay? So in the beginning, we find out that she loves to act, right? We also learn a little bit more about her home life. It's just her and her mom. Her dad had never been in the picture, which was funny because towards the end of the documentary, the dad is the one who's speculating that it was murder. So I've heard a lot of bits and pieces of the story, but once they kind of put it together in this documentary, I was like, the math still ain't mathing, okay? So her and her mom from the very beginning, she always wanted an acting career. Her dad was never in her life, right? Then we go from, what does this comment say? The dark roles. Yes, okay, Kenya. The dark roles were parallel to her demise. I was just like, what? Y'all, the one thing I didn't like about this documentary is they tried to play on a lot of the creepy roles that she played in her career, and they clipped them in the documentary in the weirdest places to me that made it seem like it was some weird sorcery type stuff going on, and y'all still fail to answer what the truth is. It's like, Come on, you gonna make this all creepy and everything like that and still not give us any answers, okay? Because they don't have the answers. Oh, hey, Tatum. Yes, okay. I saw Tatum in person last week. What's up? So, okay. Thank you for that good point, Kenya. Now, y'all, we move on from the beginning where they say, she always wanted to be an actress. Her first big role was Clueless. And like I said, that's how I became familiar with her. She was like, for some reason, I always had an obsession with like the makeover thing that they always did in the teenage 90s movies. And I feel like that's the main reason why I loved her so much. I always imagined her to be so goofy, so quirky, just like Ty from Clueless. So, like I said, when I was younger, hadn't thought about Brittany Murphy since then. But the older I got towards the end of her life, once I saw her, she was definitely unrecognizable. She was skinny, just like the makeup lady said, blonde hair, which we're going to talk about those differences. Okay. So, once she did the role in Clueless, she felt like that hindered her from getting the it girl roles because she didn't look like the girl next door. So she gets into Hollywood, dyes her hair blonde, starts dating Ashton Kutcher, trying to fit in. And, it actually ends up working for her because she landed a couple of rom-coms that made her really, really popular, right? So her and Ashton Kutcher eventually break up. It's rumored, the media was big back then, but we didn't have Instagram. We wasn't on the shade room getting updates every 2 seconds. It was all bloggers, okay? They were on MySpace. They were on .com talking about people. Perez Hilton was a big one, and he himself appeared in this documentary. And he said he felt bad about the way that he talked about her because when I say Hollywood is not a good place to be, he was part of the reason why it wasn't a good place to be. So anyway, it was rumored Ashton broke up with her. She says it wasn't true. And all she really wanted was love. She wanted true love. And then she ends up meeting this man, Simon Monjack. Okay. What I don't like, magazines, yes. What I don't like is the documentary. I feel like it's so much wasted energy here, right? So we find out that she meets Simon. Okay. A lot of people had begged her not to marry him. She marries him anyway. I'm imagining that due to the way this man looked, due to who she thought he was, this probably had a little bit to do with her and her daddy issues. Okay. I'm not a psychiatrist, but this is probably the best picture of Simon that I could find. Outside of this picture, Simon looks like a much bigger, healthier Santa Claus adjacent looking man. Okay. So I'm assuming that that's why she chose this man. We find out that he probably chose Brittany because he's a con artist himself. So before meeting Brittany, he was actually engaged to another woman who had a successful career for herself, ended up leaving her after spending all of her money getting engaged to her friend. So what Simon would do is y'all know how these Instagram models and these girls be trying to secure a bag. Simon was a city boy. Okay. He was out here trying to secure a bag. And Brittany did not know a lot about his past. People just asked her not to marry him. She didn't want to listen. However, like I told y'all, from the beginning of her life, it was always just her and her mom. So since her mom was like, yeah, go ahead and be with him, he's going to take care of you. Her mom didn't have great judgment in men. So her mom signed off on Simon and Brittany went ahead and married him. I don't even think they were together long. If you think about how long they were married, it was only 3 years. And it seemed in the documentary like it came shortly after the breakup with Ashton Kutcher. Okay. So, thank you for this comment. Got It All says Black Balloons, a conspiracy channel, did a very good video on what happened to her. I'm going to have to watch that. I've seen a few videos, okay? So now, y'all, what else we find out about Simon eventually, okay? Well, first, let's get into the death, okay? Let's get into the death. So they were married for 3 years. And then all of a sudden, we get into the tragic passing of Brittany Murphy. So, really, after she passes away, we see her mom and Simon going around doing interviews and they're speaking on her final days. Look at these pictures, y'all. This is weird, okay? There were more weird pictures. She's laying on his chest. They called that out in the documentary. It's another picture where he actually has his arms wrapped around her. Pictures that you would typically see from like parents. They look like her parents, okay? We also find out that the mom had been sleeping in the same bed as Simon because they would often cry together. That was weird. Shortly after her death, lots of the media were coming by the house trying to get statements from Simon. So there's one specific blogger, I don't know who she was or who she worked for, but she came by the house, left him flowers and a note, and he ended up calling her back. Y'all, this was another brunette lady. I noticed Brittany was brunette. The publicist lady was brunette, and also the lady who we find out actually had a child by Simon was brunette as well. So to me, I think it was very strategic as to why he allowed her all the insight on how he felt after her passing. He was a money hungry man, okay? So he invites the blogger over to the house and she tours the home. There's videos, if y'all haven't seen the documentary. The home looks really normal. He says he doesn't use the bathroom at all, the bathroom where she ended up passing away in. And it was just weird. He was giving her the tour, the infamous. He called the bathroom the infamous bathroom where she passed away, almost as if we were on some like TMZ celebrity tour. I thought it was really weird, okay? Keep in mind, he said that he does not use the restroom that she passed away in. I completely skipped over how she passed. So they find her in the bathroom, collapsed, dead, okay? So Simon and her mom are going around trying to explain what her final days are like. We find out that she was sick 2 weeks before her passing, and they said that it was just walking pneumonia. Okay, she couldn't really breathe. She thought she was gonna die, which was odd to me because she told her mom, she said, "I'm gonna die soon, but I love you," and everybody said you're not gonna die. So if y'all knew that she was sick, why didn't anybody do anything to get her the help? Is it because she's a celebrity and y'all didn't want her name in the news? Or is it because y'all were hiding other things? What we also find out as people start investigating is at the house, Simon, Brittany, and her mother all have pill bottles, loads and loads of pill bottles. I think they said they found like 40 to 50 pill bottles where they were getting prescription drugs registered in their name and also in false names. So they very much operated as a trio, which was very weird to me, very unhealthy. So if you just hear that she was laying in the bed with Simon, you automatically think, oh my gosh, that's wild. It is wild. But if you think about the way that they operated, this probably wasn't too far fetched. So I feel like they were trying to cover a lot of stuff up. Her being sick, they didn't really take it seriously. They said that it was, thank you, can you on it? 90 pill bottles, not 50. They found 90 pill bottles, okay? The house was a mess, okay? One thing that a lot of people stand firmly by is that she wasn't on drugs. A lot of people say that she was not on drugs. They interview her friends and her family. They even show a clip of her presenting at an award show where her words were just discombobulated. She wasn't making any sense at all. But they said it wasn't drugs. Now, the other thing that was super weird to me was that whenever she passed, Simon refused to get an autopsy performed. Usually, whenever someone refuses to have an autopsy performed, it's because you don't want anybody to know that they were on drugs, or number two, you already know what the cause of death is, and there's no point in anyone investigating for you. So I thought that that was weird, okay? I heard a lot that people thought that either the mom did it or Simon did it. Okay. So going into this documentary, I really did think that Simon was probably responsible. But once they laid out all of the facts, I feel like it was natural. Well, when I say natural, I mean it wasn't murder. We find out from the actual autopsy, because he eventually allows them to run it, that the cause of death was pneumonia. She was also anemic and prescription drugs. Okay, so it was a combination of all three. KA, that's a really good question. KA says, were they drugging her? That's a really good question. Now, I'm glad that you brought that up because that goes into a lot of the things that people said they saw. So, not long after she married him, Brittany ends up firing her entire team. When I say entire team, I mean she went to a movie set. Simon fired her hair and makeup and said, I'll do her hair and makeup. She fired her entire team. If you wanted to book Brittany, you had to call Simon. If you wanted to talk to Brittany's mom on the phone, you had to call Simon. So Simon basically ran everything. That was very odd to me that not only one woman could be manipulated, but two, okay, and a mother and a daughter. So, hey, J Dub, y'all are bringing up some really good points. Maybe they are drugging her. And to this comment above, I got to pull up this comment because I'm definitely about to check out this person's channel. Somebody said Black Balloons has a conspiracy. There we go. Got it all. Black Balloons, a conspiracy channel, did a very good review video on what happened to her. So we'll see, y'all. But I think y'all are bringing up some really good points. She may have been drugged. But the thing that makes me question it is that Simon ends up dying 5 months after Brittany Murphy. So let me talk to y'all about this house, okay? Because I hadn't even talked to y'all about the house. The mother thought that because Simon was sick, just like Brittany, that it was the mold in the house that caused her death. So they go through the house. Yes, they did find mold, but whenever they looked at the autopsy report and they checked her lungs, they didn't find any evidence of mold being in her lungs. So that couldn't have been the way that she passed. Here we go. She was severely anemic. Her hemoglobin, I can't say that. Hemoglobin. I can't say that. Hemoglobin was 3, which means there was hardly any blood in her body. I know because I was in a similar situation where mine was 4 and had to get 3 units of blood. It was a combination of things. So it wasn't the mold in the house that killed her. So I did think that initially Simon killed her, but since he died 5 months later, part of me was like, well, was it the mom next? I don't think so. This documentary didn't move me in any way. This documentary completely missed the mark. One thing that I'm very upset that they didn't cover in this documentary, okay? The conspiracy that I was hearing was about how the house was supposedly haunted, right? I have been hearing that she bought the house from Britney Spears maybe like 9 months before her death, is what I was hearing. Britney Spears was in the house and said that she felt spirits trying to push her down the stairs. Britney Spears often would not stay in the house. She owned the house, but would live out of a hotel and then ended up selling the house. So I have been hearing a lot of things. Britney Spears even had a spiritual cleaning done on the house. Didn't work. So she ended up moving. They didn't touch on that, not one time in this documentary, okay? Even after Simon and Brittany both died, the house had to be completely torn down and rebuilt, okay? I don't know if it was due to the mold or if it was due to the haunted house theories. So how are y'all going to do a documentary on Brittany Murphy, not address that she bought the house from Britney Spears, and now everybody's saying that allegedly the house was haunted? How do you not address that? That's something that needs to be investigated. So now, y'all, we end up learning more about Simon. His mom and his brother, they come and they give their side of the story. They talk about all these secret things that come out about Simon after his death, okay? One of the main things I want to say that I missed was that Simon was trying to throw a charity event immediately after Britney's death, charging people money to come pay homage to Brittany Murphy. People called him out for it, then he ended up canceling it. So much like Brittany Murphy, I think Simon knew that he was dying too. Someone who worked for Brittany and her mom said that in Simon's last days, he was at home basically just drinking himself away. And he was basically dying in front of his eyes, and he literally had no clue. So I think they both were really sick, but there was no evidence of mold in their lungs. So it's all a mystery. With Brittany, it's definitely a combination of things: poor health, stress, who knows what, prescription drugs. I'm sure, my guess is that they were abusing. Many people said that it seemed like all of them are on drugs. The mom, Simon, everyone around them noticed it. So I think it's interesting that we have so many facts, so many random facts, but nothing leads to a clear path as to what happened to her. The only person who could ever give you any insight on this is Brittany Murphy's mother, and she is living underneath the grid. Okay, she does not want to even be in the media, but I would like to know what happened. Another thing I didn't mention to y'all, this is all over the place, I'm sorry. Brittany's dad is the one who brought up the idea of murder. Y'all, let's not forget he wasn't in her life. So I find that interesting that either he wasn't in her life at all, and then when she passed, he yelled murder, or if there was a time where they ended up repairing their relationship. They didn't go into detail about that either. So I'm like, what are y'all doing, HBO, with this documentary? I could have read an article for the amount of information that they gave us. Okay. So now we'll talk about Simon and his secret life. Brittany didn't know. He actually had a secret child. He was with a woman in France. I believe it was the early 2000s or late 90s. And he ended up getting her pregnant. She didn't want to have sex with him. He often would force it on her. And one night when she didn't want to have sex, he lied and told her that he had cancer and that they would have to have children as soon as possible. So he manipulates this woman into having his child. Halfway through her pregnancy, he just leaves. He goes to the United States. We're also hearing that he basically would suck his mom dry of money, any money she had. But in this documentary, you can kind of tell that the mom is hesitant to really speak on who her son truly was. The mom says that whatever money Simon asked for, she was willing to give it to him, no problem, and that it wasn't him tricking her or anything. They also ended up asking the mom, would he lie about who he was in order to score these relationships? She said he wouldn't lie. It's just that the other person would hear what they wanted to hear. So it's almost like she's saying that fault is on both ends. If Simon came off as a con artist, it's the other person's fault for hearing what they wanted to hear. I don't know, y'all. It was just so much air, so much wasted space in this documentary. We don't really find out what happened. So like I said, Simon dies 5 months later. We find out about his secret children. We find out about other women who he had been with in the past. And that leads to the final question, y'all. What happened to Brittany Murphy? I don't know. Y'all, the documentary was 2 hours of nothing. If you watched it, good. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I missed. If you didn't watch it, you ain't missing nothing. Okay. Yes, Kenya. In the documentary, you could tell the mom was in denial. When I say the mom, I'm speaking about Simon Monjack's mother. When they would ask Simon's mother questions about him, the brother will often make a face and look at the mom because you could tell he wanted to answer the question differently. Y'all, I don't know. I'm disappointed with this documentary. I really enjoyed Brittany Murphy as an actress. I have to tell y'all, I don't think anyone killed her. I don't. I think it was a combination of things. This documentary didn't answer a lot of questions that I had. It didn't address any of the things that everyone spoke on. Like, yes, she had prescription drugs. Did she abuse prescription drugs? They didn't want to answer the question. It's like, what is going on? Nobody really answered anything. I don't understand at all. Even in the interview with the Tonight Show, whenever you see Simon and Brittany's mom talking, it's like she can't answer any questions without looking at him. So the only person who could really give us any insight as to what's going on in this house is her mom. So please come out of hiding. I feel like your daughter would really appreciate you speaking on her truth, okay? But I feel like her mom is walking around with the guilt that she failed her. Because typically one woman can get manipulated, but to see two women get manipulated by the same man who are mother and daughter is wild. Nicole, I have to agree with you. The documentary was more creepy than anything, and that's why I feel like it was a huge disservice. They kept showing clips of her in these creepy roles, and they made it out to be some like weird, scary movie type shit. I want to know what happened. Okay. So I think that it was a waste of air. Definitely. Now, I did pull up pictures. This was the original house when she lived in it. Her mom ended up selling the house for only $2 million. Mind y'all, I think she bought the house for like three, but by the time she passed away and Simon passed away, I think the value of the house was around 6 or 7 million. The mom ended up selling it for only two because any of the diamonds or anything that she had in Brittany's name was not real. Simon had already pawned off all of Brittany's jewelry. So, yes, he was a true con man. Yes, he probably manipulated her. I'm sure the age difference didn't help, but no, I don't think he murdered her. So, this is the original house, y'all. And then this is the house when it was sold in 2017. It does not even look like the same place at all. So, if only they had talked about Britney Spears and everything else that supposedly was going on in that home. So I'm going to check out some other conspiracy videos and see what people's thoughts are. But ultimately, y'all, I don't think we'll ever get a solid answer on what actually happened to Brittany Murphy. So the documentary doesn't even answer our own questions. So, y'all, I actually have been listening to a podcast. If y'all want to listen along with me, I'll give y'all the name of it. The name of the podcast is called Up and Vanished. I'm currently listening to season 3, and this is about a missing Indigenous woman. Her name is Ashley Heavy Runner. I think her name is Ashley Heavy Runner, and she's missing. So continue listening to the podcast. If y'all want to talk about it, if y'all want to tweet me and see what my thoughts are, feel free to reach out. I love me some true crime. If y'all have any podcasts or documentary recommendations, go ahead, tweet me, comment below, hit me up on Instagram. And like I said, I have a top 10 true crimes documentary video on my channel if you go way back to the beginning. So I would grade this documentary a C. They really didn't say anything. Yes, Chelsea, I'll put in my community the list of podcasts that I listen to. And y'all, this is going to be like a fun little thing because I didn't know this many of y'all actually like talking about true crime. So this is definitely not about to be the end of this genre. Maybe I can come and talk to y'all about the podcast too, okay? So with that being said, y'all, I will see y'all tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Bonnie Blue's channel for the Ooh Ladies First panel. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in